Strap in for a jaw-dropping journey through Earth's colossus nations, where borders stretch beyond imagination, freshwater lakes outshine oceans, and entire countries vanish inside others. From staggering shorelines to sprawling climates, we're peeling back the epic scale of the planet's giants. Prepare to rethink big.
Did you know Kazakhstan is bigger than all of Western Europe combined? This one country spans about 1,052,100 square miles. That's the 9th largest in the world. You could fit France, Germany, and Italy inside Kazakhstan and still have room to spare. It stretches across 2 time zones, from the Caspian Sea to the borders of China and Russia. Despite its massive size, only 20 million people live there, less than the population of New York City. And here's the kicker, it has the largest shoreline on the Caspian Sea, yet few people have ever heard of it. Could you drive across Kazakhstan? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Mongolia's steppes stretch over 1 million square kilometers. That's more land than France and Spain combined. Mongolia ranks as the 18th largest country in the world, covering approximately 601,740 square miles of land. You could fit the entire country of France inside Mongolia and still have room for Spain. From the lush green steppes in the north to the harsh Gobi Desert in the south, Mongolia's landscapes are wildly diverse. With less than 1 person per 10 square miles, Mongolia has the lowest population density in the world. The Gobi Desert alone covers approximately 500,000 square miles, bigger than Texas and California combined. Could you drive from one end of Mongolia to the other? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know the United States holds approximately 6.6% of global freshwater, which is less than the combined reserves of all of Europe? The US stretches over 3,000 miles from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. It covers approximately 3.8 million square miles, the 3rd largest country in the world. Lake Superior alone is larger than all the lakes in Africa combined. And here's the kicker, Texas is significantly larger than metropolitan France, but the difference is not as vast as the claim suggests. The United States holds approximately 6.6% of global freshwater reserves, which is among the highest but not the highest in the world. How long would it take you to drive from one coast to the other? Guess in the comments. Did you know the US has more public land than the entire country of Argentina? The United States manages approximately 640 million acres of public land. That's about 28% of the entire country. That's more public land than the combined area of the United Kingdom and Germany. From Alaska to Florida, the US spans 30 degrees of latitude, more than any other nation in the Western Hemisphere. You can legally hike, camp, and explore most of these lands for free, no ticket required. And scientists still can't fully map every trail and canyon, it's that vast. Could you drive from one end of the US to the other in a week? How long would it take you? Guess in the comments. Did you know the USA stretches across approximately 25 degrees of longitude, one of the widest spans in the world? That's about 2,800 to 3,500 miles, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, with Alaska and Hawaii extending the total span. The USA is about 3.8 million square miles, slightly smaller than the entire continent of Europe. You could fit France alone inside the state of Texas, but not France, Germany, and Italy combined. From tropical beaches in Florida to snow-capped peaks in Alaska, the USA has more climate zones than any other nation. And there are over 500 different ecosystems within its borders, more than the whole of Europe. You can drive from the Grand Canyon to the Great Lakes in one trip and still not see half of the country's natural wonders. Could you drive across the entire country? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know Kazakhstan is so big it could swallow 100 Sweden's whole? This Central Asian giant covers over 1,052,000 square miles. That's bigger than the entire United States west of the Mississippi. It could support a population of over 132 million people, more than the population of Germany. Only 20 million people live there. It's more than twice as big as India, but less than half as densely populated. Kazakhstan stretches across 4 time zones. From east to west, it's like traveling from New York to Chicago. And here's the mind-blowing part. You could fit 100 Swedens inside Kazakhstan and still have room to spare. Could you drive across it? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know half of Brazil is swallowed by one giant jungle? The Amazon basin covers about 2.7 million square miles, more than half of Brazil's entire landmass. That's smaller than the entire United States. From the Amazon to the Atacama, Brazil's landscapes change dramatically in just a few hundred miles. The Amazon alone holds about 6 to 9% of the world's freshwater, and it's disappearing at the rate of 6 football fields every minute. This jungle produces about 6 to 9% of the Earth's oxygen, yet it's vanishing faster than most people realize. Could you drive across Brazil? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know Chad is bigger than all of Antarctica's ice-free land combined? Chad spans over 495,000 square miles. That's the 20th largest country in the world. You could fit the entire country of Spain inside Chad with little to no room to spare. From desert to rainforest, Chad stretches across for distinct climate zones in just one country. About 39% of Chad's land is devoted to agriculture. And yet, Chad's size means you could drive from one end to the other for over 1,000 miles without ever leaving the country. Could you drive across Chad? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Mongolia is so vast that it's bigger than Texas, Alaska, and California combined, and it's still not done shocking you. This landlocked giant covers over 600,000 square miles, making it the second largest landlocked country on Earth. 30% of Mongolia is steppe. That's enough to stretch from New York City all the way to Los Angeles. Despite its size, Mongolia is almost empty. Only 2 million people live there, and the capital has fewer people than squirrels in Central Park. You could fit the entire country of Japan inside Mongolia once, and still have room for France. It's so big that it takes over 20 hours to drive from one end to the other, and you'll see deserts, forests, and snow-capped peaks along the way. Could you drive across Mongolia? How long would it take you? Drop your guess in the comments. Did you know Saudi Arabia is smaller than Alaska, but larger than Texas and California combined? It covers about 830,000 square miles, making it the second largest country in the Arab world. That's more than the entire Arabian Peninsula, and it's not just desert. From the Red Sea to the Persian Gulf, it stretches over 600 miles, more than the width of the continental United States. The Rub' al Khali alone is roughly 250,000 square miles, the largest continuous sand desert on Earth. You could fit the entire country of Jordan inside Saudi Arabia 20 times and still have room for the UAE. Could you drive across it in a week? Or would it take a month? Tell us in the comments. Did you know one country has more islands than the entire Caribbean combined? Indonesia is home to 17,000 islands, more than any other nation on Earth. Its borders stretch across 2 continents, Asia and Australia. From the northernmost to the southernmost island, the distance is over 2,000 miles, longer than the width of the United States. Despite its size, only 5 of these islands are considered major, the rest are small, uninhabited, and often unknown to the world. And scientists still can't explore every one of them. Some are so remote, they've never been mapped. Could you fly from one end of Indonesia to the other? How long do you think it would take? Did you know Iran is actually bigger than Alaska? It covers about 636,000 square miles of land. That's the 17th largest country in the world. In fact, it's larger than Texas and Alaska combined and stretches from the Caspian Sea to the Persian Gulf. From north to south, it's about 1,100 miles. You could drive from New York to Los Angeles and almost cover the entire distance. With more than 200 mountain ranges, it has more mountains than any other country in the Middle East. The Zagros Mountains alone stretch for more than 900 miles, that's longer than the entire coastline of California. Could you drive across Iran? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know Peru is longer than the distance from Miami to Seattle? It stretches approximately 1,500 miles from north to south, that's about 99% of the length of the United States. Peru is approximately 496,225 square miles, bigger than Texas alone but not bigger than Texas and Alaska combined. From the humid Amazon to the frozen Andes, Peru's landscapes change dramatically in just a few hours. The country is home to 12% of the world's plant species, more than any other country in the world. And you can fly from the Amazon rainforest to the snow-capped Andes in just 2 hours, all within Peru's borders. Could you drive from one end of Peru to the other? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know that a massive lake exists in the middle of the Sahara Desert? Chad is about 495,755 square miles, that's bigger than the entire United States east of the Mississippi River. It stretches across 4 countries, Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad, but most of it lies within Chad itself. Lake Chad is about 10,000 square miles, about the size of the state of West Virginia. But since the 1960s, the lake has shrunk by over 90%, a victim of climate change and overuse. And here's the kicker, despite its name, Lake Chad is technically a desert lake, sitting in one of the driest places on Earth. Could you drive across Chad? How long would it take? Guess in the comments. Did you know Greenland is about 660,000 square miles in total area, with around 80% of that covered by ice, bigger than Mexico? Greenland covers about 660,000 square miles of land, making it the world's largest island. It's so big that you could fit the entire country of Mexico inside it with room to spare. Around 80% of its surface is covered by an ice sheet averaging 1.5 kilometers thick. That ice sheet holds enough water to raise global sea levels by 23 inches if it melted completely. Yet, only 40,000 people live there, most in the capital, Nuuk, which is smaller than a typical American college town. How can a place so massive be so sparsely populated? What would it take to live there full-time?